But you have to decide, do you want to make things happen or do you want to watch things happen? And I've found that people who watch things happen are usually left wondering just what happened.
Another part of all this is another word that is a problem to some people, and that word is the responsibility. Have you ever heard that word before? You see, is truly taking responsibility for your life. And oftentimes if you categorize things in the manner that I was talking about, good or bad, evil or not evil or whatever, it's hard to move in to the kind of responsibility that you need, where you own it, Then you can deal with it. But a lot of times that allows you to just separate yourself from it. You create avoidance mechanisms. But in this taking a responsibility, first of all, you have the right and the responsibility to choose what you want to do with your life. And there may be a little feeling of resistance among some of you when you look back at your life and you realize that, if my mother or father didn't do this, or the teachers didn't say that, or that damn minister that I had when I was going to the XYZ church over here had treated me a little bit different, I wouldn't be... If you can realize that much, then you're already beyond it. So don't use that as an excuse. You have the right and the responsibility to choose what you want to do with your life. God gave you free will. Will within the bounds of your own capabilities, within the bounds of your own potential, your skills and your talents. You say, well, with God everything is possible. Yes, everything is possible that's possible for you. We each have skills and talents, and my talents are different than your talents. And I have absolute choice in how I'm going to pursue the development of my talents and skills in order to be able to optimize my experience of life. And that's what I mean when I say within the capabilities within the bounds of my own capabilities. Now, I'm allowed to make mistakes in my life. I can scream and I can cuss and I can steal and I can cheat. Or, on the other hand, I can help, I can support, I can be there to help uplift people and encourage them. And I can change my mind in any of this. That's the choice. I can change my mind and do something else. And this is the divine gift of choice. It's always mine. It's always yours. And you know something? It'll not always be right. I said I wasn't going to talk about right and wrong, but that's okay. And you know what I mean. In other words, you're going to make mistakes. You have that divine gift. You're going to make mistakes. But what you do and what you experience out of this is only going to be flawless, let's say, or free of mistakes, or right at your present level of awareness. And when I say that, when I talk about awareness in this sense, I'm talking about the degree to which you are aware of the truth of who you really are. Your true nature, that image likeness of God that you are, and the implications of that. And the more we get an insight in the possibilities, the unlimited possibilities that are there for us, grow in awareness of that, the more we can begin to draw those into our life simply by being aware of them. Isn't that amazing? A good command to give a friend of yours sometime, if he or she is doing something stupid, is just to say, wake up, or stop it. We talked about that recently, didn't we? And you say, oh, but can't you give me some mystical set of words or mantra that is going to conjure up the spirit of Guru Dudu from out there in the universe somewhere, going to come in and transform our life. No, it won't happen. You make the choice and the transformation occurs within you. And as we begin to realize this, our awareness really has to do with the degree to which we know our own God-likeness. Then we realize that we are, in a sense, always doing the very best that we can under the circumstances. I had a teacher, a Sufi teacher, we talked a little bit about this in my class last Thursday night. He was a Sufi and a variety of other kinds of things he incorporated into his system. And he made the comment one time that anything that a person does, when that person does it, it is right, proper, and justified. Now, think about that. Boy, did that challenge me? Did I want to argue with that? Argue with it, okay, but think about it. The key is whatever a person chooses to do in that moment is right, proper, and justified. He may change his mind 10 minutes later, but in that moment, so in a sense, we really are doing the best that we can under the circumstances, aren't we? But when we can understand that, we can forgive ourselves because we do have the choice to be able to change our mind about things and stop beating on ourselves for our mistakes or for our inability to live up to the potential that we know we have within us and that we continually fall short of that. My younger son, which is now 53 years old, I remember when he was a teenager one time, he had done something, and he's always one of these very self-critical kids. I don't know where that came from. And he still is, to some degree. But really, it was hard for him to acknowledge his gifts, and he's so clever and so smart, and except for that self-critical, he takes after me in all those other ways. But he did something, and he did it very well, and I was just so pleased, and I complimented him about it, and he looked at it and he says, "But Dad, I didn't give it my best." I didn't quite know what to say. I probably gave him some words like some kind of pablum, well, that's okay, next time try your best or try harder or something. But the fact of the matter is now, I would look at him and I would just say, "Stop that! Take the compliment. You did well. Acknowledge yourself." I wouldn't say stupid, but I sure feel like saying stupid. Do you see what I mean? How many times do we do that? How many times do we fall short of really acknowledging what it is that we are doing? Let's stop beating on ourselves. Let's stop bemoaning the fact that we made a mistake. Mistakes are wonderful if you use them. Mistakes provide us the opportunity to be able to wake up, to expand our awareness, to be able to release a lot of the emotional resistance and the suppressed stuff that we hold on to so much, like guilt and self-blame, those kinds of things. You own it. Take responsibility for it and move on. We're never going to be fully free until we accept full responsibility for our life and our actions and bring into play some self-forgiveness. And this means responsibility for every word, every thought, every deed, every decision, every action that we've taken. We're going to pay the price for those things or reap the benefits for every one of them. And we learn and we